Hello friends, welcome to my kitchen, my rules. And if you're wondering what we're gonna make today, I'm gonna make your life so easy because sometimes you need a cake, you need it fast, and you need it to not have a lot of ingredients. So I got you, and maybe you even feeling creative, right? This is a creative cake recipe for you. And I feel like my KitchenAid mixer is in my path here. I like things to be where they're supposed to be. Whew. And I understand that some of y'all are new to this space, so hey, what's up? And yes, I talk a lot, and no, I am not a TikTok person. I am not a youngster, I am medium aged. And so because I'm medium aged, we know that we like to cook things at 350 because there's a reason it's the preset on your stove. So before we start fixing this amazing cake, go ahead and get your Bundt cake pan out, just like they have in My Big Fat Greek Wedding. Remember that part where she has the Bundt? I love that movie, it's so good. It's something I can actually watch with my kids and not be horrified by what's gonna be said in it. It's really good. So we're gonna take a Bundt cake pan, any shape that you have, and if you wanna know this fancy one, I think it's a Wilton, and it's an amazing shape. It looks really scary, but actually the cake will come right up out of it if you grease it properly. I don't use spray grease, I use Crisco, and if you want to know why, it's because that's what my grandmother did. And grandmas are never wrong, I don't think. I think that's just a rule of life. So I guess those of y'all that are living wrong, become a grandmother and suddenly you are a pro at things. At least in my world, that's how it works. So anyway, we're going to grease it nicely, and then we're going to flour the pan, and this is what releases it. So if you're going to use a wild shape like this, you had better be able to release the cake. So now why am I making this cake today? Well, I'm making this for my mom and daddy's anniversary, who aren't really the same people that raised me, because we had them, they were a little rougher on us back in when I was a child than they are on my children, who seem to get away with everything. I don't know if that's a universal truth. I'm pretty sure that y'all will tell me in the comments that it is a universal truth that grandparents' job is to let children get away with things. So we have it all greased up there, and yes, I use a Ziploc bag to protect my hand. And if you're going to tell me that it wastes a Ziploc bag, well, you should know this. If you tuck it back inside your Crisco container, you can reuse it the next time. See, reduce, reuse, recycle, and keep thy hands halfway clean. Although I needed a little moisture, so that's fine, it works out fine. Then we're gonna grab a little bit of our white lily here. And of course, you know I'm a white lily purist. You can't argue with me about that. Those of y'all that are not in North Carolina or in the Southeast, go and order you some white lily, and you will find out right quick exactly why it is entirely different. Seriously. So once you dump it in your pan, you're gonna pop it around a little bit. I'm gonna walk over to the trash can so you can't see this next part. Although I guess we have a video somewhere of me doing the pan properly. If we don't, y'all should let me know and I'll make one that you can reference. I'm gonna count on y'all to let me know if I have such a video. I think I have the whole cake pan covered now. See, a little bit of my pretty places here are not covered. So let me go in and tap it around a little bit. This is one of those times, friends, when a little bit of preparation will make you less likely to cuss later on when it's time for the cake to come out. And I don't know about y'all, I have a salty tongue. All the help I can get to stop it, I will take. Ah! Okay. Giving it one more beat down because I don't want the cake to be covered up in flour. So there's what your pan looks like after you have floured it in all fronts. So we'll set that to the side. And now we're going to start with our first ingredient, which is our sugar. And of course, do I really have to tell you, you know how much in love I am with Dixie Crystal sugar, which has been around since 1917, and I have not, for the record. I do have that good of a hairdresser. And we need 3 cups of Dixie Crystals, and I do show you my nice bag, but I keep it in this very handy little container that I bought at the Walmart years ago. So for those of y'all that ask, I don't have the foggiest idea where you could find one like it. But if you had been shopping with me 20 some years ago at the Walmart, I could have told you, but now it's too late. All right, let me stop talking while I measure here. There's 2 cups, 2.5. This is a sweet cake, so if you shouldn't have the sugar, this is maybe just a time for you to get a sip of something and visit with me, because this is a lot of sugar in this one. So 3 cups of sugar, and then we need butter. And this is a butter recipe, no margarine or oleo, friends. I mean, go right. You're supposed to use unsalted, but I have salted. And so I figured that's fine because it'll work out. You need 24 tablespoons. I know, right? That's a lot of butter, but butter has dairy. And the last time I checked, dairy has calcium, and that's good for your bone density structure. And ladies, as you age, you know, your bone density suffers. Now I could just throw the whole stick in here. I'm actually gonna chop it up just to make it a little bit easier for it to cream in my mixer here. So I need 24 tablespoons. That is 3 sticks and a little bit, since you know 1 stick of butter is 8 tablespoons. And if you are happening to watch this from another country, hey, what's up? I'm in the old units of measure here, not the metric system. And frankly, I look at recipes from overseas and I don't know how to calculate all those kilograms and stuff. So I admire y'all for persevering while we're over here doing things our way. There's 2 sticks. And let's do 3 sticks. See, I have 1 stick of unsalted, so we'll use it. And then we have the rest of it is salted. Because again, my kitchen, my rules. And I know that some of you very scientific and chemistry and focused people are going to tell me why it matters. And I love you, but this is my kitchen. It's how we roll over here. So now, if you never noticed, by the way, it's marked on here, your tablespoons, see? So we try to be somewhat accurate when we're doing baked goods. As y'all know, there is actual chemistry involved, which is why I know y'all are gonna tear me up in the comments, but that's fine. Wait till you see it comes out good. All right, let's put in these 3 tablespoons here. And we're gonna let our KitchenAid stand mixer do all the work. Heck yeah. And you're just gonna cream that until it is smooth. So let me just stop talking because Melvin will edit this until it's smooth. Now that we have the butter and sugar creamed together, it's not gonna be smooth, so don't stress about that, because now you're gonna add eggs. Now I have home eggs, which means my cake is gonna taste amazing. So if you have access to somebody who has their own eggs, their own chickens, go get them, go to the farmer's market. It's not even the same thing, y'all. Now I need 5 eggs, and the eggs need to be room temperature, but I've got small eggs right now, so my small chickens are laying. So when you have small eggs, what you want to do is use 6 instead of 5. Now if you bought some at the grocery store and you've got some giant larges and extra larges, you could just use 5, but because mine are babies, the chickens aren't babies, obviously, only adults lay, but that's fine. But they're small chickens, they lay small eggs. And there, my friends, is your poultry lesson for the day, if you ever wondered. And by the way, quail eggs are the cutest little tiny things you've ever seen. Talk about little. And quail lay them like just weeks after they're hatched. They're so fast. And I don't have any quail, but I'm thinking about it because I hear that the quail eggs are good for dogs too, and I don't have a dog right now, but if I did have one, I might have some quail. So who knows? This, my kitchen, my rules may become my kitchen, my rules, my homestead, home farm. All right, there's my 6 eggs, and we're gonna blend those in, and this will smooth up. Now, of course, you can beat it after each egg, which is what you're supposed to do. But because I was talking to y'all and not paying attention, I did all my eggs at one time. So I'm just going to poke at it a little bit here and make sure that all of it has gotten incorporated. And it is. And so now you need 3 tablespoons of lemon extract. All right. And mine actually was made by my friend Penny. And so you could buy some store-bought if you want to, but you're gonna need 3 tablespoons. If you're lucky enough to be friends with Penny, then I don't know, she should make it and sell it. She probably should, because wouldn't that be a fun little business to make your own extracts? So I got 3 tablespoons in there, and we're gonna blend that in here for just a quick minute. And just get that barely incorporated, not a lot here. Just gonna make sure the liquid, oh, it smells so good. I wish I had smell-o-vision. Y'all would be so tickled right now. All right, so now that we've got the lemon extract in and my apron is coming loose, let me fix that right quick. Okay, so now we're gonna add the flour, and you know, it's White Lily. We don't just line the pan with it. We're gonna cook with it. We're using all-purpose. You don't really need self-rising for this cake, and I'll tell you why you don't need self-rising. Now, with the flour, you're gonna need 3 cups. Don't dump it in at one time or this will be a doughy rack. Do a half a cup and blend it, half a cup and blend it. Now, as we alternate that, this is actually gonna be a Cheerwine bundt cake. I know, right? You need 1 cup of Cheerwine. Now, let's just say that you live in a part of the country that sadly does not carry the finest soft drink out there. You know, this is regional. It's from Salisbury, North Carolina, just north of me. I need 1 cup. So let's say you don't have Cheerwine. You could substitute Big Red if you're in Texas. Maybe you want a cherry flavored cake. But let's just say you're the person that does not care for cherry. You could use 7-Up. You could use Sprite. If you are really smart and Southern, you could even say, you know what, I'm gonna do Sundrop. And actually, if I had a Sundrop at the house, I would probably do a half a cup of Sundrop and a half a cup of Cheerwine and make it a cherry lemon one, but I didn't have any Sundrop, so it's just gonna be Cheerwine today. So let's get a half a cup of flour in. We're gonna blend that. Just get it down a little bit. And we're gonna pour in a little bit of the soda. And then let's add another half a cup of flour. Now, if you wondered why you don't need the self-rising, well, friends, that carbonation is pretty amazing because it will do the trick for you. So we're gonna rely on the carbonation from the soda. And we'll add in another half a cup. So now we're at 1 cup. You gotta help me count, make sure I get all 3 cups in there. Let that get down below the surface. And we'll add a little bit more Cheerwine. All right. Let's add another half a cup. I know y'all are excited by this because it's so easy and it's mainly ingredients that you have on hand. Probably the only thing you didn't have was lemon extract, but you know what? You could use vanilla, you could use almond or coconut or orange, or frankly, any extract you have. And here my stove is ready at 350. Little splash of Cheerwine. All right, that was a cup and a half. This will make 2. I gotta stop talking. Y'all know I messed up a recipe the other day for not paying attention. But that happens over here at My Kitchen, My Rules, because Lee Brown starts to run her mouth, and I understand that's why some people don't even like my show, because I run my mouth too much. But you know what? Like anything else in life, if something's aggravating you, just move along, you know. Oh, here the camera can see it better. All right, there goes that. A little bit of that. Now I'm panicking a little bit in my head because I can't remember if I put in 3 cups or 2.5 cups. It's a good thing I'm making the video because I played it back and I only did 2.5 cups. Y'all, this would have been a mess of a cake. Whoo, law. So maybe you should also video yourselves making cakes. I don't know. So let's get this 3rd cup in here. Whew. Thank you, technology. Although actually I don't make this many mistakes without the technology because I don't have to talk to myself, although I do frequently. And there's the last of our cup of soda. All right, we're gonna get this perfectly mixed up. Make sure we've got it in good. Now, one of the things about cake, y'all, is that if you over mix, the dough gets tough and then your cake comes out kind of tough. And that's kind of defeating the purpose of a nice light airy cake with soda in it. Although I don't know how light it could be with 24 tablespoons of butter, but you know, say what you will, it's gonna be good. So I'm gonna grab the edges here. Do one more round and mix in that flour. Golly Moses, that looks good. Let's taste it. Oh, yum. All right, finish that one time. All right. Look at all that goodness right there. Makes you wish you were a kid again, doesn't it? When licking the beaters was the job you fought for in the kitchen. At least my sister and I did. And I must have won more frequently than she did because I was in the kitchen a lot looking for beaters and batters and bowls. Oh my. Ah. All right. So now, I'll taste that one more time. Make sure it's still good. Mm-hmm. It is. It is. All right. You know, it's kind of tempting to just eat the batter without cooking it. I mean, except for the raw eggs piece, which is, you know, you're not really supposed to eat raw eggs, but somehow I feel like I could probably eat raw eggs since they're coming out of my yard and I know where they came from and how long they've been sitting here. Like, these are like fresh from last night. This is yesterday's haul of eggs. Well, part of yesterday's haul. The rest of them are over on the counter. Oh, okay. Now, kind of get it just spread around. Here is your pre. Now your post will be in about an hour. I say about an hour because everybody's oven is different. And so if your oven cooks hotter or cooler, you have to keep it gauged, right? So it's when your toothpick comes out clean. My suggestion is always check it at 45 minutes and then you can add time, but you cannot take it away. Now, because I like a sad streak in my cake, mine will come out a few minutes before you might like yours. So let's check back in here in just a minute. Can't wait to see it. Okay, so I've tested mine a couple of times and it wasn't done. So we're currently at 1 hour and 5 minutes to see if we've got the clean toothpick test to go. Look at that beauty. She's on top of that pan. Clean toothpick, finished cake. All right, just cut that off. And look, ain't she pretty? Now, if you want to, you could take a bread knife and slice the top off so that it sits flat when you turn it out of the pan, but that's on you. And actually, it gives you a lot of extra crust to eat yourself. I won't tell if you won't. Make sure you post in the comments which flavor soda you use. Send me a picture. Most importantly, come back and hang out with me sometime in my kitchen.